What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Fishing with Separate video. Today we're going to be adventuring this small little brook. We got a bridge up above us here. We're just going to be making our way all the way up in here. We got little pools everywhere. No telling what size trout we're going to get, but hopefully we can get a good one to do a catch and cook with. So we got brook trout all up and through here. So that's going to be enough rambling on. Let me get you guys on the hat. See what kind of luck we can get here today. So we just walked down right from the road here. I got the micro setup with just a little tube on here. I'm gonna try casting this little hole right here. Nothing in that little hole, boys. We're gonna keep moving up over here. We got a lot of good real estate to fish. So I think we might have a pretty decent hole right here. It's not too horribly deep. Let's see if we can get something. These holes here are pretty shallow. Not much to them. I think what I'm gonna have to do is I'm just gonna have to keep traversing up here. We got a cool little bridge here above us. Some of these holes are really shallow. I don't know if there's gonna be anything in them or not, but sometimes the bigger fish are in the smaller holes. You'd be surprised. Looks like we might have a nice bend here. I've actually never traversed up in here before, so I don't know what we're looking like up above, but we might have something pretty good up there. Who knows? I am a little surprised that we haven't even seen a small brookie yet, because I know there is brookies in here, but I am really surprised we haven't seen nothing. Might just have to keep making our way up. Looks like we might have a deep hole here, but I would think that I would see a brookie if there was one in there. One problem I am running into, we have a hole in our boots. My left sock's already starting to get wet, which is really unfortunate. This is the tricky part about fishing holes like this. We have down trees everywhere, and it's really tricky to get through them here. I kind of have to like lay flat through here. All right, this might be something too where I have to go downstream to somewhere I have fished before, because I am not seeing much in here at all. I'm only gonna go up in here a little bit. Yeah, look at this. So this is what I'm not gonna traverse here. There's just too much down trees. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make my way back, and me and my girlfriend are gonna go down a little bit further, and we'll go to where I know there's for sure some fish. I just wanted to try up in here. I'd rather go down to my little honey hole where it's easier to get down to. Alrighty, boys. We crossed the road, and now we're at one of my honey holes here, which is well beaten down because someone's been coming and fishing this spot out pretty heavy. We just have to hope that no one got as lucky as hopefully we will get here, given I have fished this spot quite a bit, so I know what works best for the most part. Now what I'm hoping we can get a good trout here, even though it's fished really heavy. See what we can get. Yeah, it was like this last time I was here too, boys. This spot used to be a great honey hole, and last time I was here I didn't catch anything in this hole. This is the one downside to fishing, is when someone finds your honey hole, some people have no decency and they'll literally fish it until there's no fish left. And that just ruins fishing. So if you're one of those people that goes to fishing spots and catches and keeps every fish out of the hole, then you need to have some better merits. It's just so frustrating when some people want to fish and you just fish a hole out until there's nothing left in here at all. Fish on, boys. Nice. I'm not sure if this is a keeper. He looks like he might be a little small. Let's get the net here. He's not horrible, but I don't think he's quite an eater size. All right, we got him in the net. Trying to keep him in the water here. He gobbled that down pretty good. There we go, boys. Not a huge trout, but I'm gonna stick him back in there. Hopefully he gets a little bit bigger, and hopefully we can come back and catch him later in the year. That's if someone else doesn't beat us to it. He was sitting up closer to the water though. We had a bite, we had a bite. All right, there's still more up in there closer to the water. Let's get back up in there. Fish on, boys. That's a better trout. Oh, that's a keeper, boys. Oh, that's a nice brookie. Oh, boys. This is a really good brookie. This is my best one from this hole ever. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, nice. Nice. Oh, boys. This is the best brookie I've ever gotten out of this hole. Oh my goodness. He almost hooked us up. I'm gonna bonk him out, boys, before I get this hook out, because we're gonna keep him. We're gonna cook him up. He's such a good brookie. Goodness. Oh, boys. Look at him, boys. That is the best brookie I've caught out of this brook. Nice. He is pushing 12 inches. He's got some pretty decent girth to him. Look at him. What a beautiful brook trout. Nice, boys. Let's go. I was really starting to think that we weren't going to get it done here today. Up near the road, I actually saw a bobber that someone had left. And I was like, well, that's not a good sign. That means someone came in here and probably fished it out. And it was slow for a while here, but we finally got it done. He was actually sitting on the right side where the water's coming down, and he wanted it bad. He took it real hard. Let's see if we can get out there and catch another good one. I think most of them are sitting on this right-hand side, right up in there. See if we can get another one. So some of you might be wondering what technique I'm using for fishing a tube like this. I'm casting it in, I'm letting it sink down. That seems to be when they're biting it, and I'm kind of just feeling for the tension and setting the hook. But on my way in, just giving it little jigs, letting it sink again, and just gonna keep repeating the process all the way in. Just little jigs, let it sit, and just keep on doing that. That way it keeps having that nice slow sinking motion. Drives the trout nuts. I'm almost out of my Panther Martin spinners, which I usually love using in roadside fishing holes like this. So I already had a tube tied on. I was like, I'll just use the tube here for today. So I've had good luck with the micro tubes as well. It's super cool though that we got that nice big brook trout. This is the first time ever I've caught a nice big brookie out of here. At first I thought I foul hooked a smaller one because usually that's what happens. We just got bit. See if we can get him to bite again. Whoops, caught a big one. Let's fix our tube up real quick, boys. Looks like we're a little tangled there. Perfect. There's gotta be another one in here somewhere that wants to play around. We just caught someone else's line, boys. Yep, we caught someone else's line. They were using a big old hook. That is very not necessary for a small hole brook trout. As you can see, the comparison of hooks that I'm using versus what they were, and I think this is their first time trying to catch brook trout because they were using bass line. This looks like 20-pound test. That is crazy. I'm gonna set that in the net. We're gonna take that out with us so it doesn't litter the water here. Alrighty boys, we're gonna tie up maybe a small spinner real quick, and that'll be our last chance to try to catch another trout here. We're also running low on time. We actually have a storm coming in here soon, so we don't have a whole lot of time here. So we'll do one last bait switch. We'll switch to something that maybe will work a little better in here. All right, I'm gonna use something that I haven't used yet. This is actually a new for me. I'm just gonna tie on a little bucktail. Now I've used the black bucktails before, but with not much luck, that is with saying. So I do want to try out a nice bright color bucktail. I'm curious if we're gonna get something on this, but I am only gonna give it a couple casts, and if we don't get any luck, then we're gonna go ahead and start up the catch and cook here. Since we have a storm rolling in, I don't want to get caught in that. But either way, if we do catch another trout, I'm just gonna let him go. We already got the trout that we wanted for a catch and cook, so I don't really need a second one. That one's plenty enough for me. He's actually nice and long and has some good meat on him, so that should be plenty enough for us. No need for us to get greedy. Make sure to pack our tag ends away here. Always make sure to take care of your garbage and don't leave a bunch of line everywhere like this guy did. But if you do see something out in here that's not supposed to be here, pack out what you can. At least leave the water a little bit cleaner than what you came into. Oh, this looks really good. All right, come on. Give us some luck here. All right, boys, we're gonna come up here and cast from up here real quick. Just gonna do a quick switch up of the angle. I see a trout messing with it. He did not bite though. I've been kind of jigging this. Let me just try reeling it in. Nice and slow. All right, just out of curiosity, I'm gonna go down just a little ways. I'm not gonna go very far. I'm leaving our trout up above because I don't plan on going very far down in here. But I just want to see what we have maybe lurking down below here. I see one hole that we'll try down here. The only reason I'm coming down in here a little ways is because I really want to see if this bucktail works. I'm not going to base what I did up there on if it works or not, because we were fishing that hole pretty hard. So yeah, I don't think there's any trout in this little hole. I would go further down in, but we just don't quite have the time for that. I'm just gonna make my way back up here real quick. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and gut this trout out. We'll have ourselves a nice little catch, clean, and cook here. I really am super surprised that we were able to get that nice of a brook trout out of this hole. With how heavy this hole has been fished, it's very surprising that we were able to get a nice brookie like that. So I do have another spot that's very similar to this, that's further upstream from here. I'm really curious to see how that's been fished too. Usually the one up above isn't fished as heavy as this one down here, so we're gonna have to try that out here pretty soon. I think that's what I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave this tied on, and maybe within the next week or two, we'll go to that other hole, see if we can get a nice trout just like this. But let's get our cook stuff out. Let's clean this trout and let's have us a nice cook here before we get stormed on. Alrighty boys, let's go ahead and clean this trout up. This seems like a pretty good spot. I'll just go right here in the water. So this is the same kind of method that I used last week, just on a different kind of trout here. So we're just gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go up through the rear end. We're gonna cut all the way up, go all the way up to the gill plate, all the way up. And then what we're gonna do, go right through the lower jaw here, inside, in one side, out the other. Go ahead and cut right all the way up through the jaw. Go ahead and stick your finger in through the lower jaw, go right where the tongue is. And then what I usually do is I reach right into the gills here, just like that. This fin stayed, but usually both of them come. Sadly, this was a female trout. It's too bad you can't really know too much with brook trout before you gut them. It would have been nice to have another female in here with some good genes. I'm gonna come over here to this rock real quick. I'm gonna take this other fin right on off. That's all pretty much bones anyways. And I'm gonna go ahead and take the head right off. All right, there's the head. We'll throw that in there for the animals. We'll go ahead and score the kidney and get all that on out of here. Set our knife down. Let's go ahead and push that kidney right on out. Get all that blood right on out of there. Give it a good wash. Get some of that slime coat off of there. Brook trout is obviously one of the slimier of the trout, but most of that'll cook off anyways. So sadly, this is pretty much the flattest rock we have around here. Usually I would look for something a little flatter, but around these areas around here, you gotta take what you can get. Go ahead and get our cast iron. If any of you ever wanna come out and do this catch and cook stuff yourself, I highly recommend you do. And if you do, you can get a nice portable stove just like this. You can pretty much find these anywhere. You can find them on Amazon, find them at Walmart. You can pretty much find them anywhere you go. You can find them at Cabela's, Bass Pro. Or you can just get yourself one of these butane tanks, which usually lasts you a good while. And it's really not expensive to come out and do this yourself. And it's super easy. It doesn't take much at all. Now one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my trout over here. This actually that's flatter right here. I'm gonna do some scores in them. Since this trout is so fresh, you pretty much have to score the meat on these. And with brook trout, I usually give it 3 or 4, depending on the length. This one's pretty lengthy, so we'll do 4 scores on each side. This side, we're just gonna do 3. It's being a pain in my butt. All right, as per usual, we're gonna hit it with the Dano's Original. To anyone who's new, Dano's is my favorite. Dano's is my favorite catch and cook seasoning. It's just super subtle. It's nothing too extreme. Some of these seasonings can get a little overbearing sometimes, but Dano's has just got a nice taste to it. Highly recommend trying some Dano's. And no, that's not sponsored. Let's go ahead and get some oil in the pan. A little bit more. Let's go ahead and get the stove fired up. I usually like to go in a very low heat setting. It just helps it so it doesn't burn. Our pan's a little unleveled. It's not very level, so that's all right though. This trout's gonna be so good. I think this is the biggest brook trout I've caught this year. I don't know. I might have to check that out, or you guys can check it out and let me know in the comments, but I'm pretty sure this is the biggest brook trout I've caught this season, which says something about how rough the fishing season's been this year. At least for brook trout. I've caught some pretty nice brown trout, and I caught some pretty nice rainbow trout. But when it comes to brook trout, it's been a little finicky this year. It hasn't been as good. But I am happy that we got to catch a nice brookie today. Let's get that in the pan. We'll probably turn the heat up a little bit. I think we're starting to run out of butane. I have to get another canister. Yeah, this is definitely the best brook trout I've caught this year. It just barely fits in the pan. Let's cut a little snail too. We'll throw that in for the brook trout. Well, while we wait for that, we'll do the usual. Pretty much every video, I take a moment just to thank you all. I still just can't believe the amount of support we've had on the channel this year. And that's all thanks to all of you who have clicked and watched the videos for longer. I have seen a great influx of views. I've seen a good influx of watch time. So again, thank you all so much. We're so close to getting monetized. So if you guys wouldn't mind helping spread the word of the channel, you can either share it on social medias or just let your friends know. I really do enjoy making these videos for you all. It's just fun to get out in the wilderness and just explore and have a good time out here with you all. It's just a lot of fun. I enjoy doing this. But if you guys wouldn't mind too, we have a merch store down in the description below. If you guys want to check that out, you don't have to buy nothing. Just go check out the cool designs we have on there. We've got a separate logo on the front. We've got a bunch of designs in the back. Currently, I don't have one on because I actually got out of work and just immediately headed to do this video. So I don't have one on at the moment. But if you guys want to check that out, links down in the description below. While we let this continue to cook, I'm gonna go ahead and start cleaning up some of the mess we've made over here. We're gonna need these. This trout is just about done. We'll give it one more flip for the other side. Crispy golden brown, just the way I like it. We do have a couple sections that are a little burnt, but that's mostly because it's so uneven here that I can't really get the fish to stay where the oil is. But we're gonna go ahead and cut this off now. We'll let that cool off, and I'll just continue to put some of this stuff away. Can't forget to grab this line, the line with the hook from someone who came here and just completely littered the place. I'm actually just gonna stick that right in our neck. That way I can stick it in the back of my truck so we don't forget it. That storm's actually gonna be here pretty soon. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna eat this trout even though the pan hasn't really cooled down yet. I wish that there was a way for all of you to smell this trout through the video, because it is phenomenal. Just look at this. Ooh, let's take a good bite of this. Oh man, oh, that is so good. Goodness gracious. Just the flavor of this trout is incredible. The way the Danos just doesn't overtake the flavor of the trout. Oh man, this might be one of the best brook trout that we've eaten this year. That is good. Flip it over to get some of this backside. Look at that, crazy good. It's hot though. Whew, that bite was really hot. Well, it's starting to get a little dark out here. I need to eat this trout quickly, so I'm gonna stop talking to you guys. But that's gonna conclude another video of Fishing with Sepper. Again, thank you guys so much for sticking to the end of the video. Make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw today. I'm looking forward to see what kind of video we can get for you all next week. So I think that's a good place to wrap this up. We'll catch you guys in next week's video. All right, see you later, guys.